Hello. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, good morning. Good morning, good morning. Today is, what's today? Okay, I think today might be the 25th, but it might be the 26th now. I don't know. So I'm going to go with the 25th for today. So today's Wednesday, February 25th. I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but that's what I'm rolling with. How was everybody's evening? I hope you guys got some sleep. Thanks for picking up today. On my way to go pay the 5. What has been going on besides the usual BS in the world as it burns down and we all watch? I guess, what was it, the State of the Union address? Did y'all watch it? I certainly hope not. I certainly hope you found something better to do with your time and your eyes and your ears. I didn't watch it. There's no reason. I'm not going to sit there and watch a old senile man babbling on and on and on, literally gaslighting the whole world. But I did see one clip just this morning when he was like, the Democrats are crazy and they're ruining this country. Okay. Like I said, it's the gaslighting for me. And it's going to continue to be the gaslighting until y'all simply accept what is going on. Until you accept it. And that's just the way the world works, or America works. Not so much the world, but America. But, you know, we influence the world, but we definitely trying to stop doing that. This has never really been the land of the free or the home of the brave. But, you know, it's the gaslighting. It's not that you can't come over here and make money. You can. You just got to be willing to do certain things to do that. And that's still the case. And that's probably going to always be the case. But as we continue to slide into dictatorship and authoritarianism, use my vowels. I like to buy a vowel pact. But yeah, so I definitely didn't watch that. So I'm gonna be late again today, it looks like. And today wasn't on purpose, so, but, oh well, I guess, you know what I mean, so. But, as far as Nancy Guthrie is concerned, she's a gunner. She's a gunner. Her daughter just says that she would, try to do, like, $1 million, you know, payment to get her mom back in, I guess, any condition that she's in. And I think this is a situation where she's gone and this is going to be like a missing case forever. It's giving, where's the Netflix documentary that's going to come out about this kidnapping? And again, even, you know, people saying the family has something to do with it. Perhaps. Who knows? But what we know about her daughter, Savannah, is that she was one of the first people to interview a couple of the Epstein survivors. And we know that that was problematic because even though we've all always knew, and for the people who didn't, you didn't, but I'm not talking about me and you, I'm talking about the government, Hollywood, and things like that. This is a known understanding for years. Epstein had been around for years upon years. So this isn't something that a lot of people did not understand that was happening. This has been happening. Like I said, the problem with it now, is that the people are saying, why are y'all worried about it now? Why are you bringing it up now? This been going on. But she was one of the people to finally interview one of the survivors. And I guess that's a problem. That's a problem. And so that's one way they're trying to control and scare the media by going to somebody's mom's house at night and taking her, and I guess, you know, teaching her a lesson or whatever. Who knows what that whole thing is about. I guess there was no other lesson to teach her. There wasn't a husband or a child they could have taken, I'm assuming. I don't know. But, yeah, so I think Nancy Guthrie's a goner. Rest in peace to her. And, yeah, they may never get the body back. So that's that. But something I missed talking about yesterday, and needless to say, this person pisses me off once a week. Did I talk about him last week? I'm sure I did, but I mean, it was something that I wanted to point out about what he's saying and what that really truly means. Okay? When it comes to, I don't believe there are any gender wars. That's not what's going on. Like I said, there's no male loneliness epidemic. But when it comes to battle of the sexes, let's call it that, or whatever label we can put on it, Cam Newton got on national social media and said that women's value go down the more children they have. Women's value go down. This is the same person that said he wants more kids and however God brings them. So that, with that in mind, doesn't that mean that he understands that he's bringing down someone's value because he wants more kids and he's not the one that has to have them? So he has to be the one that understands, I'm bringing your value down. If I was his baby mother, one of his baby mothers, I'd be pissed that he said that. Because everybody got 2 babies each, minimum. All right, he got 3 baby mothers and 9 kids. When he got with, I think her name was Tia, or Kia. When he got with her, she had 1 kid. And then they had 4. And then he dipped out. And he dipped out when he cheated on her and had 2 with the girl he cheated with. And he was like, her value's low. She let me give her 2 kids. Let me get out of here. So then he left and got with Jasmine. And he's like, you know what? I'm going to give her 2 kids. I'm going to need to bring her value down as well. I'm going to need to do that. And so with this in mind, it's not even just kids. Men claim that the more men you sleep with, the more your value goes down. Now you have Cam Newton say, the more children you have, the more your value goes down. Now, a smart woman would hear these things and then tell themselves, well, then there's no reason to deal with a man and there's no reason to have children because I don't want my value to be down. And if I let you determine that that's true and I'm listening to that, then that means if what you're saying is true, I have no incentive and reason to deal with you or have children. Keep in mind the birth rate is down right now. Ladies, we need those numbers to go back up. And I ain't talking about the birth rate. I'm talking about that birth rate that's high. We need that number higher. That's like how they say 80% of women file for divorce. We need that number up. We need to get these numbers up. 80% is not enough. If you bringing my value down, I need to get up out of here then. Unless, of course, you want me to see myself as low value. That's the only answer that's available. You want me to see myself as low value because you still want me to be with you and you want me to have kids. But you also want me to understand that if I do that if I'm with you and that if I have kids, that my value is lowered. That's what you want me to understand. It's the gaslighting for me. It's the gaslighting for me. So my solution to this is always going to be, ladies, if we're going to take our instructions from the top and the males think that they're at the top, don't be with them. Don't be with them, because your value is going to go down if you be with them. Every time you with one, your value goes down. Every time you have a kid, your value goes down. Don't have kids. I mean, y'all shouldn't be having kids any damn way. What's the reason? It's enough people in the world. It's enough, no matter what they say. The only reason the birth rate situation is not a situation. It is plenty of people populated on this earth, United States, just to whittle it down to the country. It's enough people. When they say it's not enough people to replace, what they're talking about is capitalism, y'all. Capitalism. The incentive to have children is about capitalism. This is the reason why they came up with the nuclear family, to keep capitalism going. We have to get these people together so that they can have children, so that these children can work. That's the reason. They need to figure out what they can do with the people that's already here. If they can work or if they can't work. That's it. There was absolutely no reason to have kids in 2026. Shout out to everybody that's getting ready to bring a baby into the world. Congratulations. And I do mean that. But there's still, while simultaneously feeling like this, don't do it. Don't do it. Go get the birth control, ladies. Go get the birth control. You're going to be humping around, by all means. By all means. But that don't mean you got to get pregnant. You ain't got to do that part. That's the part you could leave out. You do not need to do that. Unless you absolutely want to bring a child into this terrible, terrible world where you will never have enough money to take care of them, even when you do have enough. Okay? It's terrible. It is terrible. But this reminds me of something somebody told me one time, right? Because you know how you talk about like submission, right? And I always say when it comes to submission is not natural for women, okay? It's not natural for women. It's something that you agree to and then you do it. But it's not something you're not being controlled by nature, and that's how submission works. That's not how it works. The number one reason we know that submission is not natural for women, the number one reason we know this is because all the males keep saying is you can't get them to listen. That's right. It don't come natural for me to listen to you. It don't. It's an actual choice that I have to make to listen to you and to think what you're saying matters for my life. That's a choice that somebody's making. It's not something coming naturally. If submission was natural, there would have never, ever, ever been laws in place to put women in whatever place they believe women are supposed to be in, create gender roles, forcing them therefore in gender roles. And like I always say, okay, for me personally, I will not be swapping my freedom for room and board. Okay? That's not happening. I'd rather figure out a way to live and pay my own bills so I can have my freedom. But yeah, so that's not how submission is a choice. Okay? Just about everything else is a choice. Nothing is happening on its own except maybe your bodily functions. Everything else beside that, it's a choice you're making, right? But I would never forget, a man told me straight up, he let me know. He said, you are too unpredictable and unmanageable. This is what he told me. I said, oh my God. This nigga really want to be my team lead. He want to be my supervisor. Okay? He wants to be the CEO, the COO, and the CFO of my life. Unpredictable and unmanageable? What? Don't you already have a job? You better manage. You better find somebody else to go manage. I'll never be manageable. Ever. Ever. I'll never change, y'all. I'll never change, okay? I can't be controlled by another human being. That'll never happen. That'll never happen. It'll never be anybody's position to manage me, okay? Ever. I'm always going to be unmanageable to someone else. It is my job to manage myself. It is your job to manage yourself, okay? It is never anybody's job to manage another human. But again, the indoctrination lets us believe, has had us to believe that something else is happening here, that there's a submission happening, and you're magically going to want to follow somebody else's instructions and direction for your own life. For your own life, you're supposed to follow what somebody else tell you what to do. Woo, funny. And I'm just thankful that I figured out a long time ago that was never going to be the case for me. And I did something about it. I said, let me solve my own problem here, because it's just like he said on that movie. What's the movie called? When he gets her pregnant by accident, goes to that white movie. Anyway, he said, you can't tame me. You think I'm tame. I'm like Siegfried and Roy's Bengal. You think I'm tame, and then I snatch your freaking face off. Exactly. That's me. I'll never be controlled by a male. Or, of course, or a woman. I mean, but why even, what would be the point? Like, how would that even work? You know what I mean? When we're talking about submission in relationships, obviously. But I'll never be controlled in that way. Especially if I'm supposed to be having, like, a romantic, relationship with somebody. It's like control. I saw somebody say the other day, she was dating this man, and then she said, he wanted to get a wife. And she said, if you get a wife, then who, do you have enough money to hire like a maid and a chef? I was crying, because it's like, exactly. Thinking that being a wife has anything to do with cooking and cleaning will always be a mistake if you're talking to me, if I'm in the conversation. If you want a wife, then you're going to need to be able to hire somebody else to do these other things. Because like I said, if being a wife means cooking and cleaning, it's like, what? Not you exchanging your freedom for room and board. But yeah, so, see? Why are you driving like you scared? I need to get over. Cross over 300 lanes for no reason. I wouldn't be surprised if they put one more lane out here. There's no reason. 6, 7 lanes. 6, 7. Sophia would laugh. It's all these lanes. And the traffic still be clogged up. So the other day I was talking about how I want to retire, right? And I ain't nowhere near the age as far as officially, as far as how it's set up here in the Americas, North America, how it's set up here. I was like, Dad, I want to retire. I need to find a way to make money. This man got on blue gloves. What if he's a murderer? He's driving with a suit on and blue gloves. It's giving American Psycho. Let me stop before he starts, chasing me down. It'll be a bad day for him. I'll tell you that for sure. I don't be fighting, y'all. I'm not trying to get my locks pulled out and my nails broken. Weaponry. Straight weaponry at all times. No. No. But anyway, so I was saying that I wanted to retire, right? And I was like, Dad, I need money. Where can I make money? So there's this girl that comes across my feed. And I was like, I got to follow her because I be crying. Her name is Kiki the Muppet. And she got like a Muppet that she sit on her lap. And you only see the Muppet. And I guess the Muppet's name is Kiki. And Kiki be having weave down to the ground, nails, lipstick, Kiki face. The Muppet face is makeup. The Muppet got cleavage and a big booty. And the Muppet be cursing everybody out, especially when she'll like do I guess like invite somebody into the video and she'll be listening to music. The Muppet be drinking, smoking, and she be like holding the cup up. The Muppet be smoking. And my point about retirement is Kiki the Muppet is paid, okay? Kiki the Muppet is making this money on OnlyFans. And I said to myself, oh my God, how can I get on OnlyFans? And so I said, Dag, if I can't let the twins be the showcase, right? How can I make money on OnlyFans? And I have a very ridiculous idea. I can't tell y'all the whole idea because I don't want y'all to steal it. But it's very ridiculous and it's very morally incorrect. The moral situation is really bad. But I might do it. Because the people on social media is making, they buying their second house, as they say. And I'm still trying to pay for my first one. I just need to get a little bit of money up, you know, enough to just be like, retire, you know what I'm saying? Give a couple of people that I care about some money. And then we could just chill. We could just relax ourselves into, you know, the next, whenever it's time to go to the upper room. You know what I mean? We could just chill until it's time to go there. I think I could make some money based on what's going on right now. It just feels like there's an opportunity here. Anyway, let me not let my intrusive thoughts come out, because then I will be telling y'all my secret and idea that I have. But the point is, if I get this money, there will be signs, okay? There will be signs. You will be able to tell that I've come across quite a few dollars, okay? You will know. You will know. Now, speaking of social media influencers, Shira Seven's husband passed away, and that's sad. The lady that be like sprinkle, sprinkle, her husband passed away. And I think it's interesting that a lot of people are shocked that she has a husband, that she's been with him for 20 years. They've been married for 20 years, and that she's the sprinkle, sprinkle lady. You know what I mean? They've been married 20 years, and he passed away. And that's clearly something she had been dealing with, you know, for a little bit. She wasn't really saying it, but he's passed away. She's very sad and, you know, feeling a certain kind of way. But I'm willing to bet she will not be getting married again. No need for that. Once is enough. I'm not saying you can't be with anybody. I'm saying there is no reason to sign off on paperwork. That's all I'm saying, y'all. That's all I'm saying. Okay? We want to make sure your route to escape is as easy as possible. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, her husband passed. People are extremely shocked to find out that she even had a husband because of how she talks online and always talk about getting this money and men need to give her money, blah, blah, blah. Like, not so much men need to give her money, but like, if you're going to be with men, you need to be getting something out of it. Sprinkle, sprinkle. That's her point. People always, I bet she's single. I bet she's this, she's that. No. She's a lady that doesn't pay bills. Okay. She don't pay bills. And she let it be known. I don't pay bills. Yes, I am married. They have 2 teenage daughters. And I think they have his services this week. But yeah, there's no reason for her to be married again. There's no reason. I mean, I'm sure she understands there was no reason for her to be married in the first place. I know y'all like, damn, she always talking smack. And I do. And I do. It's true. But I'm just telling you what I know, not what I heard. I'm telling you what I know, okay? You be with them until the situation. Listen, I got to get from behind this box truck. Cause see, I knew you had all that space up in front of you. I knew it. Why are you in the fast lane? And then now you want to slow down so you don't let me over. See my point? Let me woosah and let me count to 10. See, now you want to get your dumb ass over. See? Let me calm down. Let me calm down. Okay, because I'm already only 4 minutes out. So maybe I'll get to work at, let's see. Let's do a challenge. How long is it going to take me? Maybe I'll get to work at 8:06. Anywho. But yeah, like I said, her husband passed. She probably will not be getting married again. She got 2 teenage daughters, and now she's going to be free as a bird. She gets her freedom back. I'm sure she had a beautiful, beautiful life insurance policy, will and trust. There was no reason for her to get with anybody and share that. No, she probably don't even want to be bothered anyway, especially with how you know the dating scene works right now. It's really bad. Every time I'm on like little blogs and I be trolling. Y'all know I be trolling. I don't know if y'all be seeing me trolling. Every time I'm on the blogs, I be trolling real bad, y'all. It's bad sometimes. Sometimes I be going in and they be cursing me out. They be dragging me to the ground. I be like, ooh. They be like, yeah, this dumb bee. They be calling me a dumb bee. They be saying they bet I'm single. They bet I'm a baby mother. And all that. And I be like, oh my God, it's true. How did you know? How did you know? Is it that easy? Is it obvious? It's obvious because everybody's a baby mother. Duh. Okay, there are more single mothers than there will ever be married mothers. That's just the truth. That's just the truth. And we're going to keep it like that. We're not going to let the United States of America continue to indoctrinate us about some nuclear family mess. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Okay? The proof is in the pudding. The proof is in your experience. The proof is in my experience. The proof is in your mother's experience. The proof is in her mother's experience. The proof is in your father's mother's experience. We have all the proof. And yet we still live in the fantasy. Well, y'all do. I don't. I jumped out that fantasy a long time ago. I think I've always understood that I was probably going to be single because I've never, ever wanted to have to give up my freedom. I think that relationships, if you're going to do it, it should be about freedom. And I said this one time and I got cursed out so bad by the males. They dragged me. It was like, it ain't about freedom. And that's why I say, and I understand that y'all believe that. That's what I believe it should be, about freedom. And if I'm going to get with somebody, I already know, like, trying to talk about these things up front or not, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. And so they're not going to agree with that because they don't want to take the chance of them doing something crazy and then me being able to be like, all right. You know what I mean? Because I don't want to control anybody. I don't. I already have a job. And like I always say, even when I don't have a job, I do. But when it comes to relationships, it's like I'm not trying to have that kind of responsibility for somebody else in that way, where I'm constantly trying to track them. What you doing? What you got going on? Live your life, boo. Do what you want. Do whatever you want. And then I will decide if doing what you want affects me in a way where I need to get up out of there. And that's just that. Because I'm going to do what I want. And keep in mind, doing what I want or you doing what you want doesn't always have to include cheating, being with somebody else, being disrespectful. And that's where the problem comes in. This is what, because people believe that that's what that means, this is why they don't agree with it. This is why they don't want to talk about deal breakers and things like that up front. You know what I mean? And so it's just like, you haven't let your mind think past a certain point. You know what I mean? Have your life, live your life. The assumption should be that if you're going to say you're going to be monogamous, if you're going to say you're going to be exclusive with somebody, when somebody says do what you want, the assumption should be in life, not necessarily with somebody else. But because the assumption is a negative assumption as far as doing what you want, like I said, people don't want to discuss what those things might mean. And so for me, it's like it's a certain level of freedom I have to be able to have. I've lived with it for so long, and being free for so long, I just don't see myself It's hard, you know what I mean? You get a guy on the line, y'all talking for 2 days, baby, I'll be done forgot. Not because I'm not interested or into him or anything, but it's like I am so used to not talking and having to say what I'm doing, this, that, and the third. I'm so used to that it could slip my mind, genuinely. You know what I mean? And now I gotta have a go back and forth with him because he think, oh, that means you're not interested. And you no. No, it means that you want me to react a certain way, and I'm not there yet. And maybe I will never get there. Maybe that's not how I react to things. You know what I mean? But that's what he think. And the next thing you know, I definitely had a guy block me right down to my real phone number. He blocked me, honey. He said, you hard to keep up with. I said, oh yeah. I said, that's my bad. I did forget. Baby. He said, well, forget my damn number. Boop. I said, oh God, okay. I was cracking up laughing because it was just like another one bites the dust. But like I said, I get it. There's an expectation of behavior, and I don't follow those kind of rules. Those rules haven't gotten me anywhere, and they really haven't gotten anybody I know anywhere. I said what I said. I believe what I believe, and I've witnessed what I witnessed. And so that's that. So yeah, he definitely blocked me and was like, no. I was like, oh my God, okay. All right. Listen, I be getting dissed too. I get dissed, okay? Ooh, I've been dissed in my day. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, oh snap. I would never forget a guy told me my hair was nappy. I said, oh, no, you did not. I said, oh my goodness. I was like, it's as nappy as you and your mother's hair is. And he was like, he couldn't believe I brought his mother up, but I needed to explain to him because he felt like his grade of hair was better than mine. But I had to explain to him that no matter what you think you got right now, every woman in your family hair looked like mine, boo-boo. So of course I had to diss him and block him because it was just like, oh my God, texturism, which means colorism, and misogyny is right. They right there. All of those work in tangent with each other. I said, not you talking about my hair. You think you're going to talk about my hair to me? You better find somebody else to go gossip about me with. Or if you're going to tell me about it, cool. And now we can play the dozens. Now we can talk about each other straight up, right to your face. Okay, and he has some thick lady thighs. I said, okay. You built like your mama. You built like a bad bitch. So now he mad at me. Sir, you started. You started. You see, I was going to accept those thighs. I was trying to accept those thighs. But then you want to talk about my hair being nappy? Nappy? I was like, my hair is in locks. Like, what are you talking about? He was like, yeah, and then I had my wig on. He was trying to talk about my wig. I said, ooh, never. I said, and the thing about, which men that do that fail to realize is nothing about what you saying is sexy. I will never let you jump on top of me talking that kind of shit. What? Because now I'm supposed to be what? Insecure? You trying to make me feel insecure? I don't think so. I don't think so, sir. It's giving 3 snaps in a Z formation with a twist and a kiss. That's the feeling that I got from with him. A man talking to you like that, talking to a woman, like dragging her up and down about how she look, her clothes, and oh, sir, okay? We about to be besties. You trying to get on my friend list for real, okay? You want to go to brunch with me talking like that. I would never deal with a man that talk about women in that way. You watching too much TV on social media too much, okay? You want to be one of the ladies. I got a meeting in the ladies' room. Come on, sir. You come with me to the bathroom. But yeah, anywho, the last thing I did want to talk about is music, right? because I'm here. I'm late, 8:06. Oh, I said that. Right on time. So T.I. got an album out, Jill Scott got an album out, and Bruno Mars got an album out. When Bruno Mars dropped his song, I Just Might, we know it's a good song. Bruno Mars makes feel-good music. But some people was trying to be like, oh, I think I've heard this song before, blah, blah, blah. Okay, and we've also heard T.I.'s song he got out right now before. And everything Jill Scott is saying, we've heard her say it before. What's my point? It's called consistency. They make a certain type of music for us that we love and enjoy. There's no reason to criticize the kind of music that they're giving us right now, as if we don't already know what kind of music they're going to put out. The music T.I.'s putting out is definitely giving 2000s, which we can appreciate because we was up in the club doing the most. Jill Scott, we love that. That's giving late 90s all the way through today. And Bruno Mars. He's been putting out feel-good music since he came out. Let's enjoy the music, people. Okay? A good artist is going to be consistent with their sound. There's no reason for us to hear Bruno Mars come out with a certain kind of music that he don't do. I don't want to hear Jill Scott do a country album. We'll leave that to Beyonce to go into different genres. A person like Jill Scott, I want to hear what she got to say in the R&B sector. Okay? I want to hear Bruno Mars doing my feel-good music. A lot of people can't do what he can do. So we need him to be able to do it. Anyway, I'm about to go. It's 8:07. Y'all, don't let anybody piss you off today because it's not worth it. And when it is worth it, you gotta show them what's up. But besides that, y'all have a good day. And I will do the same, all right? And hopefully I will see y'all tomorrow. Hopefully I can find something to talk about tomorrow, even though it don't take much. You know, I can yap. But anywho, y'all have a good one, and I'll do the same. All right, peace out.